Okay. Hello, guys. You guys are literally propped up on my hot chocolate mug, and I am going to be reading my essays that got me into Boston University. And I already filmed this video like in college a month or two ago. I either can't find it or I'm too lazy to find it, and it's the latter. And someone asked me advice to get into Boston University. And I was like, oh yeah, I did a video about my essays. Because honestly, it was my essays. And I guess my test scores helped, but my test scores weren't like fabulous. But I think I was in the range that they were accepting. So I didn't really think about test scores. I mostly applied to schools that I was in the range or was about to be in the range. So here I go. If I'm looking down my laptop, first is my Common App essay, and please excuse my inability to speak, guys. I am not good at English. Not my first. Actually, it is my first language, but not like American English. Okay. My eyelids flutter open, blinded by the harsh rays of the sun and confused at the engulfment of my 5-year-old figure in an unfamiliar bed. Through the windows, I see my parents prepare to leave, entering the vehicle we traveled in. A wave of panic immerses me as I try to scurry out of the massive bed. I run to try to catch up, but the soles of my feet barely touch the ground. I can't help but think that they won't leave if they see me. Nonetheless, my parents left to Nigeria without me. This early memory where I feel my life truly begins still travels unforgotten through my brain. How could I forget it? I felt utterly confused, betrayed by my parents. I was told that it was not permanent, that soon my parents would come back. That soon became a year of waiting, a year of hoping and begging for my parents to return. Soon was too long. I spent that year feeling as if I was a nuisance, the gum at the bottom of a shoe. What else was I supposed to feel? At my distant relative's house, the bed I woke up in was no longer familiar. The clothes I loved to wear were no longer mine. The smile I plastered on my face was no longer real. All I could do was hope that my parents would come back, and it would be soon. When they finally returned, I couldn't have been more grateful. Now I realized that my parents made a huge sacrifice by leaving me behind in Nigeria, so I could get a better life and education in the United States. They only wanted the best for me, and the 5-year-old me just couldn't see it. Over in the United States, my parents enlisted in the help of anyone they could to get their 3 other children in Africa across the Atlantic. They wanted the process to be completed as soon as I did. This betrayal I felt as a young child now makes everything else seem so comparatively trivial. The betrayal of a friend could not measure up to the intensity of what I felt then. Even the betrayal of a high school teacher or the betrayal of a Sonic worker is something simply insignificant compared to the large-scale betrayal that I felt that morning in Africa. Looking at my experiences as a whole, it seems futile to worry about the small betrayals in life or even regard them as betrayals at all. Instead, I worry about my larger life goals, about the relationships I want to develop with people around me. These betrayals, both large and small, only impel me to move forward, to work towards becoming a stronger person in the future. If I am stopped by all the little setbacks in life, what would have been the point of my parents' year-long journey? The goal my parents had then for a better life for me helps increase the passion I have for pursuing the biological sciences. From understanding the networking paths of the mind to studying the complex anatomy and physiology of the human body, I'm engrossed and curious about the human species. Okay, so second essay. The first one was my Common App. So this one is the Why Us essay, and it is 241 words. At the end of my sophomore year, after getting used to smelling like formaldehyde at the end of a long day in the science wing, and realizing that holding a cow's heart was surprisingly an enjoyable experience, I finally admitted to myself that the science was my absolute favorite subject. Whatever, that doesn't make sense. The science. That science was my favorite subject. However, even after realizing this, I couldn't relinquish the fact that, unlike most other scientists, I also love the letters that give math such complexity. I am enamored by the European language, culture, and history, and have an urge to broaden my understanding in all subjects. Since I was unable to tour Boston University, I decided the next best thing would be to look at the videos of the BU tours and interesting science programs the school has. These videos fueled the diehard scientist in me by showcasing the scientific instrument facility where instruments involving a particle accelerator and a dark matter spectrometer are being developed. Additionally, BU fed my diverse ambitions with the Kilachand Honors College that allows students to pursue different majors in cooperation, facilitating the development of more well-rounded individuals who strive for creativity and critical thinking. I look to BU to help me excel my path towards medicine with interest in the specialization in neurobiology to allow me to use research to contribute back to society through the Kilachand Keystone Symposium and establish a complex diversity in my learning as I analogously bring diversity back to campus. Okay, I have to admit, my friend edited my essays, all of them, and after she edited it, she put like suggestions on Google Docs. I just clicked accept on every single thing. Like, I don't even know, like, some big words you hear, like, and you can see me struggle with it because I don't have that, like, and maybe this is why they like accepted me. They were like, wow, she can use big words, but I really cannot. I'm sorry. But yeah, I got someone to check these essays. She was like the first in our class. She got like a perfect SAT score and ACT score, basically. Okay, next essay. This is the BU Honors College essay, so the Kilachand one, which I got accepted into. It was 500 out of 600 words. And then, here we go. What good is it if I only know the human effects on climate change or the impacts of pharmaceuticals in the environment, but do not understand the conflicts that led to the war of Afghanistan or Brexit? I don't like to be the person in a group of people who only knows about one subject, who only contributes to a limited section of the conversation. I want to be well-rounded, diverse in my interests and understandings. I am intrigued by the combination of liberal arts and STEM that Kilachand Honors College offers. This program, along with my neurobiology major, will urge me to learn more about the world we live in and how we as humans inhabit and shape it. I'm inspired by how the Honors College itself is headed by Mr. Rajan Kilachand. Rajan, I'm sorry, sir, for mispronouncing your name. Rajan Kilachand, showing diversity in not only Boston University, but the message of the Honors College itself. The diversity in the curriculum is apparent from the seminar Conflict and Cooperation taught to first-year students to the Keystone projects like Brent Hireman and Megan Rogers' study on sugar high, the effects of fructose exposure. I know that I will be well versed in different real-life topics discussed in the Honors College. Previous Keystone projects like Nicole Enos's analysis of high-speech video endoscopic images during running speech incorporate what I've observed while interning at St. Tammany Hospital's speech and endoscopy departments. Enos's research parallels with my internship efforts to find a way to improve video quality and speed so that doctors can better understand what the patient is going through. I hope that the Honors College, by facilitating my close proximity to other well-rounded individuals, will encourage me to establish my own form of creativity in the medical field. I want my classroom to be small proportions that are a part of the bigger campus community. I stole that directly from the Kilachand thing. I copy paste. Okay. I've always heard from people around me that a person is a combination of the people that surround them, and in some way which encourages me to strive for the Honors College, which is filled with people who are willing to work hard and achieve their goals. Kilachand Honors College motto for combining different majors together while still focusing on the individual's own major brings about diversity that I like in the program. Not only does the Honors College create a more well-rounded individual, but it strives in the growth of my creativity and critical thinking. The ability of the Kilachand's Keystone Symposium to use research to contribute back to society, making the program not only about the individual but about the community. My excitement about the Honors College is mostly because the staff and institution have found a way to make learning less of a standard, uniform process, but one that allows flexibility based on the individual. I don't just want to be a doctor, but I want to be a doctor that understands her patients on a different level, a doctor that is more than just her STEM knowledge to bring to the table. Okay, I have to really try really fast. I think this is the last one. It's the BU, what intellectual pursuit or challenge absorbs you or provokes curiosity? And it's 560 words out of 600. Okay. I have always been the strange one in class, the one that makes crazy remarks, that gets laughs, but sometimes causes pure confusion. Despite the occasional odd looks, I love this attribute about myself because it is my form of creativity and it allows me to think differently from my peers. My anatomy class thought I was a little strange when I said that I love the satisfying incisions of the scalpel. What I really love is how the scalpel allows the holder to look inside the tiniest of tissues and discover a whole new world. I'm incredibly curious about the social complexity of the human species and our abilities to interact with just anything we can get our hands on. It's not just the sheer anatomy that intrigues me, but the way our mind works as we as humans can affect other species and have impact on other biotic and abiotic factors. I'm interested in how the human memory is so complex and how when some people forget, they simply forget, but others like me want to know why and what we forget. I was once asked if I could remember a simple chemistry term given their definition. A molecule that could be both an acid and a base. I knew that I'd learned the word multiple times and I've seen it in multiple tests. I even knew what the word started with, but I just couldn't remember the word, which it turns out to be amphoretic. Is it because I'm a visual learner? Why are there different types of learning? How is the brain so complex? Although these questions might give others a headache, I get excited by them. I'm constantly questioning and constantly endeavoring to learn more. I don't even know. I want to start pursuing the concepts of the human body by obtaining a master's degree in human biology or neuroscience. Then I want to become a surgeon and use the knowledge of my teachings and experiences to help with diseases and injuries. I'm particularly interested in becoming a specialized surgeon at a hospital or a flight surgeon helping the military. After gaining as many experiences as I can, I want to earn my PhD in neuroscience so that I can research why sometimes I wonder if other people have thoughts or if I'm just in a virtual simulation. I also want to understand why accomplishing as many things as I wish is such an extraneous idea for some people to think. Yeah, so whenever I say I want to do so much, we're like, extra. But I'm like, what do you mean? Then in my dire old age, I want to establish a place where children can see the answers to the questions I asked and come up with their own questions that they themselves want to answer. My dream is to be able to answer all these questions. I want to learn all that I can from the increasing issues related to invasive species. Wow, did I predict coronavirus? No, I didn't. To atmospheric pollutants, because I believe that knowledge gives you unmistakable power within yourself. Oh, I was like, power gives you unmistakable power within yourself and the ability to help. The questions that encircle me in my daily life are what bring about the randomness that I say out loud. I want to be able to make peace with all the thoughts that I have, but I know the raging curiosity inside me will never stop because there's always a new question to be answered when anything is learned. Okay, I did a better reading. I'm going to post this video.